The core of Jainism is Ahimsa, or nonviolence, which leads to a deep respect and compassion for all living beings. Jain monks practice this principle to an extreme degree. Jainism believes that not only plants, but all living beings, including humans and animals, possess a soul, jiva, and these souls are inherently equal in value. Therefore, minimizing the taking of life is the most important duty of life. Ahimsa is the supreme dharma, religion or law. Ahimsa is the supreme self-control. Ahimsa is the greatest gift. Ahimsa is the greatest happiness. In happiness and suffering, in joy and sorrow, we should regard all creatures as we regard ourselves, and we should refrain from inflicting upon others such injury as we would not desire for ourselves. Jain practitioners go beyond strict veganism and do not eat plants that must be uprooted, such as potatoes or carrots. This is to minimize taking the life of the plant as a whole. Since life cannot be destroyed to obtain food, meat is naturally forbidden. The Purusartha-Siddhyupaya scripture states, "Meat cannot be obtained without the destruction of life. Therefore, one who uses meat necessarily commits injury, himsa." Some monks wear masks over their mouths and sweep the ground with a broom when walking to avoid harming tiny insects. Jainism teaches, "He who harms other living beings has not understood or renounced sin." To kill any living being is to kill oneself. Compassion for others is compassion for oneself. Therefore, one must avoid violence, like poison or thorns that cause pain. This expansion of compassion advocates nonviolence toward all living beings, which becomes the fundamental reason for regarding meat eating, accompanied by slaughter and exploitation, as an unethical act. Another important principle of Jainism is aparigraha, meaning non-possession or non-attachment. This principle leads to an attitude of life that reduces needs as much as possible and does not waste the gifts of nature. Jain monks and followers are called true environmental protectors because of their lifestyle that minimizes harm to the environment. Their way of life aims for the minimal use of world resources. In Buddhism, especially Mahayana Buddhism, compassion, karuna, for all sentient beings is considered most important, and vegetarianism is emphasized as a concrete way to practice this compassion. According to the Buddhist teachings, practitioners must avoid harming any living being, whether directly or indirectly. All sentient beings are regarded as one's own mother or child. In the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, the Buddha taught, "Eating meat extinguishes the seed of great compassion." The Lankatra Sutra and others state that eating meat is eating what is born of oneself and should be avoided by practitioners as causing fear in living beings. It clearly teaches that even meat offered as alms should be refused. Buddhism emphasizes the consequences of actions according to the principle of karma. Animal slaughter and meat eating are considered great negative karma. For profit, sentient beings are destroyed. For meat, money is paid. Both are doers of evil, and that deed reapens in Raurava, hell of screaming, etc. A practitioner's explanation covers the emotional aspect beyond the ethical issue of meat eating. When you eat meat, you are consuming not only the chemicals animals undergo during their lives and at the moment of slaughter, but also that emotional and physical stress. That stress also becomes part of your meat. Buddhist practitioners emphasize refraining from harmful actions and cultivating compassion in every act. By avoiding all actions that cause unnecessary suffering, including killing, they minimize the harm inflicted on the natural world and environment and pursue a harmonious relationship. Those who walk the bodhisattva path make a great vow to relieve the suffering of all sentient beings, and they view meat-eating as fundamentally contrary to this principle of compassion and harmlessness. Through these teachings, vegetarianism is not simply a choice for health, but the most fundamental way to practice compassion for all life, ethical responsibility, and further, harmony with the environment.